So today's May 4th, 2023, and we're in Brighton, Ontario, and that's Lake Ontario. And there's the moon, and we have no idea what the heck this is.
It's come and gone 3 times.
Does anyone know what this is?
This is what you call a chariot of the Lord. Before I go any further, I must give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Akakwadash. Yahawah is who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahawashi is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and there's no God beside them. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who taught us his truth, taught us the name first and foremost, all right, and the understanding of the scriptures, which was, of course, was given to them by Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi. And double honor and salutations to the elect whom the Most have given ears to hear. And I specifically chose to play this video as, the lady asked, she was inquisitive, trying to figure out what the hell that phenomenon was. As far as her looking over across the Lake Ontario and seeing the moon, and then seeing something that resembled the moon. All right, a light of the night, if you will. And from what she didn't understand was very clear to us, right? This is Exodus chapter 13, verse 21. And the Lord Yahawah went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, right? Which that word Lord in all caps is Yahawah, the existing one. And Yahawah went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night, right? So chariots are in the scriptures, and the men of the Lord been telling you this, the men that understand the scriptures been telling you this, right? From the apostles, and I would even venture to say their elders, their apostles, all right, been going out there telling you that the so-called UFOs or the unidentified aerial phenomenons, those are the chariots of God, right? There was actually a video I seen where the Breaking Strongs,
which
y'all remember, it was at least 8-9 years ago, the elder apostles was doing the Breaking Strongs. And in this one, they're going over UFO 70 AD, right? So just again to prove the point that for years now, the men of the Lord, they've been telling you what these are. But now, all right, when you fast forward to 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, now it's coming out what those UFOs are. Right now, people are starting to wake up to essentially what was a secret to them, even though we've been telling them, right? They're just now coming to their senses. So it says, as the brother GMS UK, the end is nigh, the brother Ramah out of the UK camp, right? He did a lesson. It's entitled, Two Republican Congressmen Claim UFOs Could Be Angels Sent by God, as they say sightings are consistent with scriptures from the Bible. Now, this article came out January 17th, 2024. Right? So, again, proving that which which is what I would like to name this lesson. The spirit of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi keeps us advanced, or something to that extent. As everybody wants to know, wants to be privy to knowledge, groundbreaking knowledge at that. All right. And you see, this is why it's important to go to the men of the Lord for that knowledge. You know, when you read the scriptures, kings that had any understanding, and therefore people that had any understanding, knew that in their council, right, you had to have an assortment of men, some of which were, well, all of which should have been wise men, right? Now you got to ask yourself, when you read the scriptures, if kings, which were rulers over thousands, you know, they had a mindset to have wise men over them. Salakia, I forgot my train of thought. Salakia. But pretty much what I'm saying is, right, that it would behoove you to listen to the prophets. That's pretty much the point I was getting at anyway. It would behoove you to listen to the prophets. Right? Whereas we have that private information. What does the scriptures say? Let's go into the scriptures. Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in a city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord have not done it? Surely the Lord will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Now in this book, even though it's written in English today, it still has allegories, parables, dark sayings, and what you need someone to interpret it. And once you interpret these words, once a man of the Lord interprets these words, which, to add, you have to come in the spirit of Yahawashi to be able to interpret these words. Is it not written in Revelation 5 that Yahawashi was worthy to loosen the seals of the book? To as now through him we get understanding. And when you get understanding, all right, the times of today we see are written in the scriptures, as well as the times of old and the times to come, the kingdom. All these things are written in the scriptures, right? We even tell you that the elect shall be saved through chariots. That's also written in the scriptures. You see? But in the last days, people are starting to see very slowly, might I add, like I said, we've been speaking on these things. People are starting to see little by little, piecemeal by piecemeal, if you will, that we are telling the truth, right? Because there should be no rebuttal to what we go out there and say. However, as we are living in a land of confusion, everybody's opinion is their fact. You know, everybody's opinion is their fact. And facts are looked at as conspiracies. Facts are looked at as theories. In this world, opinions are looked at as facts, and facts are looked at as theories. All right? However, as the scriptures say, when it shall come to pass, then ye shall know that a prophet was among you. And, you know, as I'm meditating upon this lesson, and I'm meditating upon, you know, being in the spirit of Yahawah, Yahawashi makes us advance. You gotta understand, when shit really hits the fan, these people are assed out. You know? They are assed out. and call loyalty Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. This is just another reason why we should be giving thanks to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi for opening up our eyes to see these words, for opening up our ears to hear the men that come before us, right? And not just any men, because there's many men that have been teaching the Bible before us, of course, but certain men are just privy to the knowledge of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Let's go over to Matthew chapter 5. And these scriptures are in no particular order. Nevertheless, I had to put this thought on wax because to me, it's, like I said, it's very, it's very beautiful on our part. Just further proving what the truth is. And it should be very scary on your part because you can't see what we've been telling you. All right? Now these things are not just theories. They're actually facts. All right? And according to the men of this world, the men who are deemed as having these high degrees, all right, the men, the smarts of this world, all right, the ones who call the shots, they're seeing what we're saying to be true. Right? So that should tell you something. Maybe you should start listening. But as scriptures say, a curse has been put on you that you should not see, nor should you hear, nor should you hear until the cities be destroyed without inhabitants. You can find that in Isaiah chapter 6, verses 9 through 11. But let me go over to Matthew chapter 5. Verse 14. And mind you, in this chapter, Yahawashi is speaking to the disciples. Matthew 5:1. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, skipping down to verse 14, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Right? And that word light, meaning it says a star, anything emitting light, fire because it is light and sheds light, a lamp or torch. And when you think about even a light today, when the light is off, you can't see. You don't know what's in front of you. You don't know what obstacle awaits your next step. Nevertheless, when you turn the light on, right, you can navigate clearly. So with the prophets, now you see what's in front of you. As the Lord is showing you signs in heavens, i.e. the chariots of God, now you can clearly see, or now you know that that's a chariot of God. Now you know that's just, not, you don't have to go off on a tangent or, live off a theory, because we're telling you, according to the scriptures, that these are not phenomenons. These are actually God's angels. All right? They're not little green men from Mars. They're not all the things that, again, your opinions would have you believe. Your theories will have you believe. They're angels of God. And now let's jump over to like I said, we should be, man, this is something we should be rejoicing at. All right. All right. And you people, you're going to need us. As a matter of fact, before I grab that Susanna, I want to jump over to Corinthians. Like I said, I'm all over the place. So Baba Kashaf, forgive me. Sometimes these lessons be like that. You just got to bring the scriptures out, as they come to us through the Spirit. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 19. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent, according to this word. Whenever you go into the scriptures, right, you had men who had their own counsel. Nevertheless, the Lord will bring a secret to them in a dream, to where even their own counsel wouldn't be able to understand it. So they would have to go to a man of the Lord. All right, the Lord will make a way, like Joseph expounding the dream to that Pharaoh had of the 7 years of famine and 7 years of plenteousness, or Daniel. Mind you, these men, they never went to the prophets first. They always went to their own men that they perceived had knowledge. However, the Lord put it in their hearts to seek after these men, the men of the Lord, the men of Yahawah, Yahawashi, the God of knowledge, in which they got their a dark dream, all right, or their vision rather, answered. So it says, let me see. 1 Corinthians 1 and 19. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where's the wise? Where's the scribe? Where's the disputer of this world? Have not God made foolishness the wisdom of this world? For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom, but we preach Yahawashi's crucified, unto the Jews a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness, but unto them which are called both by Jews and Greeks, Yahawashi the power of God and the wisdom of God, because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. And again, the Lord revealeth, all right, or the wisdom of God, right, even the most, as we would call basic wisdom, the name of the Lord, right, and even the most basic wisdom. Where do you go when you die? Where does the wicked go when they die? We can tell you that, right? We can go to the scriptures and we can tell you where do the wicked go when they die. Meanwhile, the theory in this world would be that what? You go to hell. But the scriptures don't say that, right? According to the wisdom of this world. All right, but let's grab this. So we can go to Wisdom of Solomon 9. Then we're gonna go to Susanna 1, and we'll probably close it out after that. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 9 in verse 16. And hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon earth, and with labor do we find the things that are before us. But the things that are in heaven, who have searched out, and thy counsel who have known, except thou give wisdom and send thy Holy Spirit from above. For so are the ways of them which live on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom. You see, by following the men who the Lord have put down here to have the proper understanding, you can be saved, right? You don't have to find out after death by pain, right? You can be saved through wisdom and knowledge. The scriptures tell us what? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and fear the Lord. Let me just grab it. Wisdom and knowledge shall be Isaiah. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, Isaiah 33 verse 6, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahawah is his treasure. Right? So when you have all these things, you're unbeatable. So now, finally, we're going to get to the book of Susanna, chapter 1, and verse, I want to jump straight to the point. Susanna 1 and 42. Then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, O everlasting power, thou knowest the secrets and know all things before they be. Why? Because the Lord created life. All right. He created life and all things that are therein. All the events that will happen on the planet Earth from now until forever, the Lord has wrote in the scriptures. Right? Some of the Lord went in detail. Some of the Lord, gave bits and pieces. Like the scriptures say, eyes have not seen, no ears have heard what the Lord has in store for us. All right. So as far as, the kingdom is concerned, we know, certain things like Yahawashi told us that in his father's house are many mansions. So we know that there's a lot of planets for us, for the Lord's men, the Lord's people, the Lord's elect, rather. So, that's pretty much all we know as far as the kingdom is concerned. All right. We know about the blessings that we shall receive. We know that these heathens are going to be in slavery, but the intricacies of those times we don't really we can't really tell you. All right. That's for it to come. Nevertheless, in the book of Daniel, it speaks on like Daniel's 11 speaks on the Assyrian wars. It was Daniel's 8, Daniel's 2, Daniel 7, 2, Daniel 7, Slakia. Speaks on the times of this world, how certain kings, the Greeks would precede the Romans. The Romans will precede America. All right, the intricacies of times, of today are also written, or of history is written in the scriptures. Right? And this is, mind you, this is written thousands of years prior to those things happening, hundreds and thousands of years prior to those things happening. All right, hey, look at Noah. All right, Noah was speaking of the secrets of the destruction. All right, which at that time was a secret that the earth would open up and rain down water, whereas it never really rained before, right? So again, a phenomenon, or which I pretty much know what it means, but we can look it up. There's no biggie. It says a fact or situation that is observed to exist or happen, especially one whose cause or explanation in a question. A fact, a situation, a remarkable person, thing, or event. Right? So a phenomenon is strange, to the person that wasn't privy to the information. Right? Whereas the prophets, the elders, all right, the men of understanding have always been privy to that knowledge. So it will behoove you to give ear unto us. All right, to give ear unto the men of the Lord. Right? But at the end of the day, some people just got to see it the hard way. Some people just got to learn it the hard way. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. And when you read this, this is speaking on the times to come, right? When the Lord truly reveals who he's dealing with, right? Going to prove that there's more revelations to come in these days, in these last days. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Right? The salvation of the elect shall be strange, just as their life was. Whereas again, they were speaking things that were privy to the world, right? Hundreds, thousands of years. But when the time came, all saw who was really telling the truth. So far beyond all that they looked for. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit. All right. So again, it's so far beyond all that they look for, because according to their tiny wisdom, they couldn't grasp they couldn't grasp. You can't grasp what you can't see, basically. Right? And our wisdom is given to us from the heavens. Right? Whereas prophets prophesy. The word prophecy meaning to say before. So it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. Right? He just speaking bullshit. I don't know what the fuck he talking about. Babylon gonna be destroyed. Yeah, all right. You would have said the same thing to the disciples and the apostles, back in the time of Rome, back in the time of Greece, when things were popping, when that society, was still for so long. Hey, we could all even take it all the way back to the time of the Egyptians. The time of the Assyrians was ruled for, hundreds and thousands of years. But look, now they're just a page in the history book. So it says, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the Son of righteousness rose not upon us. Right? Again, they didn't understand the light of the world. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. And what we see is different from what they see. From what we see is different from what the world sees. So it makes sense that we're looked at as crazy right now. But just give it some time. And you shall see as well. So with that, shalom to the elect.